to guide us back to its glory by sending us their prophets and avatars of spiritual awareness for the purpose of awakening. So let's go back to not eating physical food will kill us. Then not eating spiritually makes us spiritually weak. Together, this suffering makes us unhealthy, suppressed, and leads to mental instability and anguish. Now let's introduce the kingdom of energy, that is the fourth dimension. As there are only 8 dimensions in this sector of the galaxy, even though science can validate 10. So this gray area is where the transition from matter into antimatter exists, where the synergy and dynamic principles of energy, microcosmic and dynamic and physical and economical. Energy can be negative or positive. Both have the ability to change from one state to another, as they are a law, a dynamic. Synergy can influence and can also influence and enforce a person to be more bad and terribly bad, as much as it is a choice to be good. Now, because we are in a negative region of space, or the Kali Yuga, or the Dark Ages in spirituality, it is very difficult to be good. This evidence is everywhere and overwhelming, as God is here. God is here, but cannot do anything but wait. This negativity amplifies energy that is negative and dampens positive energy, as mentioned before. It will also, as a fact, apply more pressure to the system, physical, mental, and spiritual, that obeys the rules of survival, which are only physical, hence corruption. Because corruption is the king of physicality, of survival in the fittest. Survival in the fittest means you can kill, betray, to make the most, and to hoard the most, and be selfish, and to destroy the earth. Hence, corruption is majesty. In an existence where survival of the fittest is a law, then corruption can only be its pinnacle. This apex of pyramid structure in life is primitive and void of spirituality, as no God that stays here can stay here for long, as to exist at this level is to fight in order to survive. So constantly working to be happy is not worth it. Therefore, primitive thinking is a very, very terrible form of energy and a subclass of chaotic and not negative energy. Therefore, you have all of these deviant holy people that were once good, as the same goes with others that started good only to have their brains rot and give into this chaos. So we do in fact have the choice to be better. But how the system constantly puts pressure on us to find a trophy wife, to even kill or betray your friends to have them, then something must be wrong with us. As if we allow this to happen to us, and then to turn our backs and not provide some sort of therapy for those that need help. Then this is our collective mistake. Perhaps one of those that are called God, would judge us by. Then you have all of those stupid commercials programming us to commit further into this system, as it brainwashes us into sexuality and their lifestyle that racks up debt and is called the plastic fantasy life. We are bombarded by negative energy. This negative energy compels us to survive and act on our impulses. Then religion does not make it any harder. for us to cope as relief pressures that are vitally needed makes us angry, as we are not stupid to see that sex is about sensuality and exchange of energy that is integral to our survival, an intimate and beautiful thing, and not a primitive, evil thing. Not a primitive, evil thing. Then we have all of this porn everywhere in society, and the demand for non-condom is so great as the need to fantasize about having sex with that porn girl or that guy or that experience is too fictitious, which makes us a very guilty and shameful society that denies a pleasure and an archetype that is love and sharing in the and this intimacy is stolen, as our innocence and purity makes us feel shallow and insecure. So this makes us feel very guilty, produces a shameful society that denies a pleasure in an archetype that is love and sharing and intimacy, and it is as if this is stolen. Our innocence and our purity makes us feel shallow and insecure, and that's wrong. So some that are not as strong confine in deviance. For the others, it is that when they were young were taught by being betrayed and therefore sexually taken advantage of, and this is the only love that we know. As it is powerful as your first experience with sex or from a relationship, it is even worse if you're lonely, abandoned, or abused, as children really need the communication and the sensory in order to survive. So they compromise, get abused, and pretend that it is okay. Furthermore, as children or youth are not taught sexuality, as wrong as it sounds, stimulation is good, and when you're not taught that something that feels wrong is wrong, the fear of betrayal or the punishment or lost love is enough to buy their silence. As bad as it may seem, we are so starved for love and attention in this society that this is wrong, that this wrong is right. And negative energy feeds and protects this type of thinking and the people. Everything about sensuality is hidden. Intimacy is the love of being lied to and feeling relief and pain. Indiscriminately and sadly, their sense of love is wired into their behavior as incorrect, and they cannot relate to this. They don't understand that it's wrong because they were not built this way. So the computer doesn't know that the wiring is wrong. The person does, but the computer doesn't. So they accept it as right because it feels right. So there's two rights to it. And not having that bridge of a spirituality, of jumping from A to C, when B tells you everything about the spiritual experience and the interpretation and the logic to it, it allows to connect to the right side and the left side to the right side of the brain. Meanwhile, what actually happens is that's what happens when we go to sleep. The left, we're doing A, B, and C. But when we come back to our bodies, B is gone. So we're just left with A, which is the feeling. And so that feeling is enough. And for others, they get mixed up with this feeling as a spirituality too, because we're not taught about it. And they're not taught about it at school. They're not taught about it by the parents. And everything is wrong in society today with sex. It's not because it's wrong. It's just that it's shameful, and it's not. They feel guilty, and it's not educated upon. So people do stupid things for sex, really stupid things, and wild things. When sex is wonderful, and it needs to be taught that it's a relief and something that you learn about other people. And the intimacy is really what people crave in the society, so we're starved in that way. I mean, now is not the time to judge, as we pollute, are a part of a corrupt system, and also in some small form participate to this madness that is wired primitive behavior. Every time that we went for the pretty girls, other than the girl that connected to us, even at stripper clubs, every single time, slept with someone else's friend or ex or current girl, went after someone that your friend likes, even if they don't like each other. And do you tell them your spirituality, that you're spiritually shallow? And are you a participant to this corruption that feeds this negative energy? This system that the commercials of hot girls that brainwashed you to do, that the magazine, society, and negative energy make you portray, negative energy that made you portray doing those things, to do those things, to act upon it. We are all victims, and to some degree innocent. But in every way, for others, a need for cheap and effective therapy to address regressed traumas, and the need to incorporate energy for healing and energy to eat, live, and survive is necessary. To first recognize a better world that exists right here, right now, on this planet. If only we taught ourselves to forgive, learn, merge cultures, merge religions, or not merge, combine secrets from religions, from all religions, then humans can reconnect to the God in us, in them, and restabilize heaven on earth, or bring God, or bring as it is above, so be it below. Thank you. Thank you.